One morning you wake up, and it feels like your head is wrapped in a heavy fog. You get out of bed, walk into the kitchen, but can't even remember what you came for. Out of nowhere, your mood sinks, without any clear reason. Maybe you tossed and turned all night, or maybe your stomach has been bloated and unsettled all day. Have you ever felt that way? Most people brush it off thinking, well, that's just part of getting older. But from my experience, and from a growing body of medical research, there's often something deeper going on. The hidden connection between your gut and your brain. We tend to think of the brain as the command center for everything. But in truth, your gut has a voice of its own, and the two are constantly whispering back and forth. When that line of communication gets static, whether from stress, diet, medications, or simply age, you can start to feel foggy, low, restless, without knowing why. One of my patients once told me, I thought I was depressed, but it turned out it was my gut speaking up. We'll dive deeper into this connection soon, but for now, I want you to remember one simple truth. Taking care of your mental health begins with taking care of your gut. Drink water first, a healthier morning habit. Do you usually reach for a cup of coffee the moment you wake up? I used to be the same. Eyes barely open, already picturing that warm, fragrant cup waiting for me in the kitchen. But then I came across a line that stopped me in my tracks. After 7 to 8 hours of sleep, your body wakes up dehydrated, and the first thing you give it is coffee. A diuretic? From that day on, I tried something simple, drinking a big glass of water before my coffee. And honestly, the results felt magical. One of my patients, Linda, 63, told me, I never imagined a glass of water in the morning could make me feel more awake than an espresso. She noticed her skin wasn't as dry, her headaches eased up, and even her mood felt lighter. The truth is, our bodies are about 60% water. Every single cell, from your brain to your heart to your joints, runs on it. Without enough, we feel tired, sluggish, foggy, constipated, and most people just blame it on getting older. So here's my challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, before your favorite cup of coffee, drink a tall glass of water. Then repeat it every day, gently, consistently, like tending a little plant. And remember, those 2 to 3 liters of water a day aren't just numbers on a health chart. They're a gift you give yourself. Clearer skin, sharper focus, smoother digestion, and even deeper sleep at night. Sometimes the secret to feeling better is as simple as a sip of water. Some mornings I finish breakfast yet still feel like my stomach is heavy, as if everything inside is just sitting there, unwilling to move. Have you ever felt that way? One of my older patients, Margaret, once told me, I eat carefully, clean and healthy, but I was still bloated and sluggish. Until I started walking every morning. Not running, not hitting the gym, just a slow walk around her backyard, a few laps, breathing deeply. I know, we've all heard the benefits of exercise by now, but too often we think of it as working out, something heavy, forced. The truth is, just 20 minutes a day can gently wake up your digestive system. When you move, even if it's walking, doing yoga, or gardening, your body sends signals to your gut, telling it to wake up and get to work. Blood flows more freely, your breathing steadies, and your mind feels calmer. I often tell my patients this. Don't think of walking as exercise. Think of it as an appointment with yourself. You can stroll around the house with soft music playing, or step outside, look at the trees, the sky. You might garden, hands in the soil, mind at ease, or simply do a few gentle yoga poses on a mat in your living room. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent, because every step you take today is a gift to your body tomorrow. The strange link between fiber and your mood. There's something curious I've witnessed over many years in practice. When people start eating more greens, beans, nuts, and oats, they don't just feel lighter in their stomach. Their mood softens too. Have you ever noticed that? One of my patients, Joyce, 70, once told me, I changed my breakfast, added a little oatmeal, sprinkled in some walnuts, paired it with leafy greens, and suddenly, I wasn't as irritable. I even slept better. At first, she didn't believe food had anything to do with it, but then she realized it all begins in the gut. When you eat fiber, like the kind in beans, nuts, oats, and leafy greens, you're actually feeding the good bacteria quietly living inside you. These little friends ferment fiber and create something called SCFAs, short-chain fatty acids. Sounds technical, but here's what matters. SCFAs calm inflammation, keep your gut lining strong, and most importantly, support your brain. I once read a study showing that short-chain fatty acids can influence how we process emotions, boost memory, and even help us sleep. So next time you sit down to eat, I hope you see that bowl of greens, that serving of oats, or that pot of beans not just as food, but as gentle medicine for your mind. Start small. Maybe a spoonful of flax seeds in your yogurt, a handful of kale in your lunch, a bowl of slow-cooked beans for dinner. It doesn't have to be fancy, just consistent, because sometimes, for a clearer mind and a calmer heart, all it takes is a spoonful of plants. When sleep sloways, have you ever lain in bed, eyes closed, but your mind just keeps racing, thoughts looping like a song stuck on repeat? You glance at the clock, 1 a.m., another night, without rest. I've heard this from so many older women, and honestly, I've been there too. We assume insomnia is just part of aging, but sometimes with a few small changes, sleep can return, like an old friend, warm and gentle. Take my patient Helen, for example. She loved her afternoon coffee. It's just a little, she'd say, but when she stopped drinking caffeine at least 8 hours before bed, her body seemed to sigh with relief. Another change, eating dinner earlier. When your stomach is still busy digesting, your body can't fully relax. A light dinner, at least 3 hours before bedtime, can make a world of difference. And then, there's the screen glow. The blue light from phones, TVs, iPads, all sending your brain the same message. Stay awake. I often suggest, turn them off at least an hour before bed. Instead, reach for a book, play soft music, or simply sit in silence. Silence, too, has its own sound. The sound of peace. Sleep is not just what's left at the end of the day. It's the foundation of everything tomorrow. And you deserve a full night's rest, steady, gentle, dreamless, filled only with healing and the quiet love you give yourself. When stress hits your stomach, here's something most people don't realize. Every time we feel stressed, our stomach feels it too. Have you ever noticed that? Your chest feels heavy, your heart races, your belly twists up and refuses to digest anything. That's not your imagination. That's your vagus nerve, the communication line between your brain and your gut, hanging up the phone under stress. I remember a 55-year-old patient, a company director, who told me, "Doc, every time I get ready for an important meeting, I get stomach pains and sometimes have to run to the bathroom over and over." When I examined him, there was no serious disease. The real culprit was stress. Once he learned to breathe deeply, take a few quiet minutes each day, and work with a therapist to ease the pressure, his mind cleared and his stomach finally settled down. Think of your body as a house. The brain is the living room, and the gut is the kitchen. When the living room is noisy and tense, the kitchen can't cook in peace. So if you want your meals to digest smoothly, you've got to tidy up your mind too. Of course, you can't erase all the stress in life, but you can slow your breathing, close your eyes for a few minutes, or talk with someone who truly listens. Sometimes just one deep breath is enough to send your stomach a message. It's okay, you can get back to work now. And in that moment, the brain and gut fall back into their natural rhythm. Feeding the garden inside you. Have you ever noticed that after a meal loaded with sweets, cookies, or packaged foods, your stomach feels heavy and uncomfortable? Some of my patients have told me, "I feel tired, irritable, and I don't even know why. I just thought it was age." But the truth is different. Your body is home to trillions of tiny microbes, your gut microbiome. Think of it like a living garden, and every day you're watering that garden with whatever you eat. When you choose fresh foods, vegetables, beans, nuts, whole grains, that garden blooms. But when you constantly feed it ultra-processed foods, loaded with sugar, additives, preservatives, It's like tossing rocks into the soil. The earth hardens, and the flowers struggle to grow. One of my patients, Mary, 65, shared that after cutting back on soda and packaged sweets, within just a few weeks she slept better, felt lighter, and even more uplifted. She said, "It feels like I've been refreshed from the inside out." Science backs this up. Ultra-processed foods disrupt the balance of your microbiome, allowing bad bacteria to take over. The result? Inflammation, digestive problems, even effects on memory and mood. So next time you're at the grocery store, ask yourself, am I nourishing the garden inside me or letting it dry out? You don't need to cut everything out overnight. Start small. Swap soda for water, chips for a handful of walnuts, pastries for an apple. Because those small choices, repeated day after day, grow into big changes for your gut health and for your peace of mind. In summary, our mental and physical health doesn't just come from the brain. It begins in our second home, the gut. Small daily changes such as drinking water in the morning, gentle walking, adding more fiber, sleeping well, and reducing stress can make a huge difference, helping you feel clearer, lighter, and happier every day. If you found these insights helpful, please share this video so more people can understand the powerful connection between the brain and the gut and join together in building a healthier, more balanced life.